Stores 1. In the Realm of Shadows. Elena is a 35-year-old biologist whose passion for nature and biology drives her to face the unknown with courage. Her husband, Aaron, a reconnaissance officer in the military, returns from a mysterious mission with severe health problems. Once strong and resilient, Aaron now appears frail and disoriented, his mind seemingly unraveling. Elena's love for Aaron compels her to uncover the truth behind his transformation, leading her into a world of fear and uncertainty. As Elena investigates Aaron's condition, she learns about a region known as the Realm of Shadows. This place, created by the impact of an extraterrestrial object years ago, continues to expand, altering everything that enters it. The region has taken countless lives, and those who return, like Aaron, are never the same. Determined to understand what happened to her husband, Elena joins a new expedition into the Realm of Shadows. The team is led by Dr. Sophia, a 42-year-old psychologist with a deep understanding of the human mind. Dr. Sophia is calm under pressure, using her expertise to keep the team grounded in the face of the region's psychological dangers. Nina, a 30-year-old anthropologist, specializes in cross-cultural interactions and human behavior, bringing a unique perspective to the expedition. She is both curious and cautious, aware of the unknown dangers that lurk within the realm. Marta, a 28-year-old physicist, is focused on understanding the region's physical anomalies. Her analytical mind and scientific rigor are crucial in navigating the unknown forces at play. Lastly, Elias, a 33-year-old geologist, seeks to unravel the geological mysteries of the realm, his expertise in the Earth's structures providing the team with insights into the changing landscape. Elena stood at the doorway of their home, her heart pounding with anticipation. Aaron had finally returned from his mission, but as soon as she saw him, her heart sank. He was not the man she remembered. His once vibrant eyes were now hollow, his body gaunt and weak. Elena, with concern, Aaron, what happened to you? What did they do? Aaron stared at her, his eyes distant, as if he was struggling to find the words. Aaron, in a strained voice, there's so much to tell you, but it's all so hard to remember. Elena gently guided Aaron to the couch, where he collapsed into the cushions. He looked exhausted, like he had been fighting an invisible battle for too long. Elena, insistently, you have to tell me. Whatever it is, we can face it together. Aaron sighed deeply, his gaze dropping to the floor. Aaron, barely a whisper, the realm of shadows. Nothing there is real, or maybe everything is too real, the words echoed in Elena's mind, bringing back the fragments of information she had gathered about the mysterious region. The realm of shadows was a place of legend, a supposed myth within military circles, yet here was her husband, proof of its terrifying reality. With Aaron's condition worsening and no clear answers in sight, Elena decided to join a new expedition into the realm of shadows. She contacted Dr. Sophia, the leader of the previous mission, who was assembling a new team. Elena was determined to be part of it, to uncover the truth and hopefully bring her husband back from the edge. Dr. Sophia, calmly, this mission will test everyone's strength. The realm of shadows affects the mind in ways we can't fully understand yet. You need to be prepared. Elena, resolutely, I need to understand what happened to Aaron. No matter the danger, I have to go. Nina, with a hint of skepticism, what we've heard about this place sounds like madness. But we won't know for sure until we're inside. Marta and Elias exchanged glances, aware that they were heading into the unknown. Each of them knew the risks, but the mysteries of the realm beckoned them with a mix of fear and fascination. Chapter 3. Entering the Realm of Shadows. As the team's helicopter approached the Realm of Shadows, the environment began to change. The sky, once clear, was now shrouded in a thick gray mist. The sun's light struggled to penetrate the gloom, casting an eerie glow over the landscape. Elena, with a growing sense of dread, this place. It feels wrong. Everything about it is unsettling. Elias, seriously, the geological structure here is completely altered. It defies everything we know, Doctor. Sophia stepped out of the helicopter, her eyes scanning the twisted landscape. The plants and animals they encountered were unlike anything they had ever seen, mutated, distorted versions of their natural forms. Marta, astonished, even the cellular structure of these plants is altered. It's as if the very laws of nature are different here. As they ventured further into the realm, they noticed that even the ground beneath their feet seemed to shift, almost as if it were alive. The realm of shadows was not just a place. It was a living entity, testing their resolve at every step. The first night in the realm was a harrowing experience. The team set up camp deep within the twisted forest, where the darkness seemed to swallow everything whole. As the others slept, Nina awoke to the sound of something moving outside her tent. Her heart raced as she heard the unmistakable rustling of something unnatural. Nina, whispering to herself, "Is anyone there? Or is this just in my head?" But the sounds persisted, growing louder, more insistent. She felt eyes on her, shadows shifting just beyond the reach of her flashlight. When morning came, Nina's face was pale, her eyes wide with fear. Doctor. Sophia, with concern, "This place tests our minds as much as our bodies. No one should be left alone tonight." Elena, watching Nina's trembling hands, began to understand the horrors Aaron must have faced in this place. The realm of shadows didn't just distort reality. It twisted the very fabric of their minds, making them question everything they knew. As the team journeyed deeper into the realm, the environment grew increasingly unstable. Gravity itself seemed to falter. One moment, they felt weightless. The next, they were pressed down as if by an unseen force. The terrain shifted beneath their feet, as if trying to disorient and trap them. Marta, panicking, "We're losing our way. The maps are useless here. Everything keeps changing." Elias, with a steady resolve, "We have to reach the center. Whatever is pulling us here, that's where we'll find it." But the journey took a tragic turn when Elias disappeared. One moment, he was with them, and the next, he was gone, leaving only faint traces in the shifting landscape. The team searched frantically, but it was as if the realm had swallowed him whole. Elena, desperately, "We have to find him. Everyone who comes here deserves to go home, Doctor." Sophia, though shaken, understood the harsh reality. They were being picked off, one by one. The realm of shadows was breaking them down, exploiting their weaknesses. As the team reached the heart of the realm, time and space completely unraveled. They felt as though they were trapped in a loop, reliving moments over and over again, unable to tell where one ended and the other began. The shadows around them began to take shape, playing on their deepest fears and desires. Michael, shouting, "This isn't real. None of this is real." But the visions were too vivid, too powerful to simply dismiss. Michael found himself back on the battlefield, reliving the horrors of war. Lara saw her family, lost in a tragedy she could never forget. Dr. Celine, the team's neurologist, felt her mind slipping, unable to hold on to reality. Dr. Celine, screaming, "It's just an illusion. It has to be." But the illusions felt too real to ignore. Elena, too, was pulled into the realm's grasp, where she saw Aaron standing before her, as real as the day he returned home. Aaron, coldly, "You have to destroy this world, Elena. There's no other way out." The heart of the realm of shadows was alive, pulsating with an energy that pulled at Elena's very soul. She stood before Aaron, torn between her love for him and the terrifying reality of what he had become. Aaron, now a part of the realm, urged her to join him, to embrace the transformation. Elena, tears streaming down her face. Aaron, I'm here for you. I'll get you out of this. But Aaron's expression remained cold, distant. The man she loved was gone, replaced by something else, something dark and unrecognizable. Aaron, with a hint of sadness, there's no going back, Elena. The realm has changed me, and it will change you too. Elena knew what she had to do. The device she carried, designed to reverse the energy flow of the realm, was their only hope. But activating it meant destroying everything, including Aaron. Elena, whispering, I love you, Aaron, but I can't let this place take over. With trembling hands, Elena activated the device. Aaron looked at her one last time. A flicker of the man he once was shining through. Aaron, softly, thank you, Elena. The realm of shadows imploded, collapsing in on itself in a burst of energy that sent the team flying. When the dust settled, the region was gone, leaving only a scar on the landscape and in Elena's heart. Elena and the surviving team members were rescued, but the experience left them scarred, both physically and mentally. Elena, in particular, struggled with the loss of Aaron and the haunting memories of what she had seen. She was isolated by the government, questioned endlessly about the events in the realm of shadows. Investigator, demanding, what exactly did you find at the center? What did you experience? Elena, in a hollow voice, it was a gateway, a place where the mind and body were twisted beyond recognition. Aaron, he became a part of it. The investigators were at a loss, unsure of how to handle the truth. The existence of the realm of shadows was classified, its secrets buried deep. But Elena knew that this darkness couldn't stay hidden forever. Elena tried to return to a normal life, but the nightmares wouldn't let her go. Each night, she was haunted by visions of Aaron, of the shadows creeping closer. Then, one day, a letter arrived from Dr. Sophia, warning her that the realm of shadows was not completely destroyed. Dr. Sophia's letter. Elena, I thought this nightmare would end with the destruction of the realm, but I was wrong. It's still out there, and it's growing stronger. You're the only one who can stop it. We must end this, no matter the cost. The letter reignited the fire in Elena's heart. She couldn't let the realm take more lives. She had to finish what she started. Elena, now driven by a renewed sense of purpose, escaped government surveillance and assembled a new team to return to the realm of shadows. This time, she was joined by Michael, a military strategist and former Special Forces soldier, Dr. Celine, an expert in the neurological effects of the realm, and Lara, a geologist who had previously explored the region. Michael, determined, we're ready this time. Whatever we face, we've planned for it, Doctor. Celine, seriously, our minds will be tested. They'll try to use our weaknesses against us. We need to be prepared for everything. Lara, thoughtfully, the remnants of the realm are still active. But this time, we know what we're dealing with. We know how to fight it. As they prepared for the mission, Elena grappled with her own fears. She knew that returning to the realm meant confronting the darkness within herself, as well as the physical dangers that awaited. The team arrived at the location where the realm of shadows had reappeared. As they stepped into the area, the familiar sense of wrongness returned. The air was thick, the light dim and strange. But this time, the team was more prepared, more determined. Elena, thoughtfully, this place, it's changed. It's stronger, more alive. Something is waiting for us. Michael, narrowing his eyes, stay alert. We can't afford any mistakes this time. As they delved deeper into the realm, the psychological effects intensified. Each team member began to relive their past traumas, their deepest fears brought to life by the shadows. Lara heard the cries of a lost child. Michael saw the ghosts of fallen comrades. Dr. Celine felt her grip on reality slipping. As the team reached the heart of the realm, time and space dissolved into chaos. They found themselves trapped in a loop, their memories and realities blending together. The shadows grew more aggressive, taking on forms that taunted and terrified them. Dr. Celine crying out, "This isn't real. It's all an illusion." But the lines between reality and illusion had blurred too much to distinguish. Elena saw Aaron again, standing before her, as real as the day he had come home. "Aaron," coldly, "you have to destroy this place, Elena. It's the only way." The heart of the realm of shadows pulsed with malevolent energy, drawing the team into its grip. Elena stood before Aaron, her heart breaking at the sight of him. He urged her to embrace the transformation, to become one with the realm. "Elena," with tears in her eyes, "Aaron, I'm here for you. I'm going to save you." But Aaron's expression remained distant, his humanity lost to the darkness. Aaron, with a trace of sorrow, "There's no going back, Elena. The realm has changed me, and it will change you too." Elena knew what she had to do. The device she carried was their last hope. With trembling hands, she activated it, knowing it would destroy everything including Aaron. Elena, whispering, "I love you, Aaron, but I can't let this place win." As the device activated, Aaron looked at her one last time, a fleeting glimpse of the man he used to be. Aaron, softly, "Thank you, Elena." The realm of shadows collapsed in on itself, vanishing in a blinding flash of light. The team was thrown back, and when they opened their eyes, the realm was gone, leaving only silence and a deep, aching loss. Elena and the surviving team members emerged from the experience changed forever. The government tried to cover up what had happened, but Elena knew that the darkness she had faced couldn't stay hidden. She felt the weight of her loss, the pain of leaving Aaron behind, but also the knowledge that she had saved countless lives. Michael, taking a deep breath, "We did it. But this isn't over." Elena, quietly, "No, it's just the beginning." Elena knew that the world was still full of unknown dangers, that the battle against the darkness was far from over. The story ends with Elena setting out once more, determined to uncover the truth about the remnants of the realm of shadows and to continue her journey both in the world and within herself. Stories 2. The Mystery of the Forest of Death. As soon as Lara learns that her twin sister Maya has gone to Aokigahara Forest in Japan, she feels that something is wrong. Maya's recent strange behavior, her desire to be alone, and her depressive mood deeply worry Lara. She is determined to believe that Maya is still alive and decides to travel to Tokyo to find her. Upon arriving in Japan, Lara traces Maya's steps to the hotel where she stayed and the point where she entered the forest. Lara discovers the last few notes Maya wrote before heading into the forest, in which she mentions disturbing dreams and an inexplicable pull toward the forest. Following these clues, Lara resolves to track Maya's trail into Aokigahara Forest. At the entrance to Aokigahara Forest, Lara meets Kazuo, a local guide. Kazuo immediately warns her about the dangers of the forest. Lara expresses her determination to find her sister, but Kazuo explains that the forest harbors not only physical, but also spiritual dangers. He tells Lara about the dark history of the forest and the terrifying events experienced by those who ventured there. Kazuo, this forest is not an ordinary place. Time is lost here. The boundary between reality and dream blurs. If Maya is somewhere in this forest, we must find her quickly. But I warn you, Lara, the curse of this forest claims not only the lost, but also those who search for them. Despite Kazuo's words, Lara refuses to back down. She insists that she will not leave without finding her sister. Seeing Lara's determination, Kazuo agrees to help her. As Kazuo and Lara delve deeper into the forest in search of Maya, Lara begins to hear strange sounds, whispers, footsteps and rustling from unseen entities. With each step, the forest's darkness pulls them further in. Kazuo tells Lara that the forest is connected to ancient Japanese mythology and that the spirits here are restless. Those who die here lose their souls. They go neither to heaven nor to hell. They remain here, in this forest, Kazuo explains. One night, while Lara and Kazuo set up camp, Lara has a strange dream. In her dream, she sees Maya sitting at the base of a large tree deep in the forest. Maya reaches out as if calling to her, but Lara cannot reach her. When Lara wakes, she sees a look of deep concern on Kazuo's face. Kazuo, we shouldn't stay here tonight. Something is watching us, following us. Lara and Kazuo find a journal that Maya left behind in the forest. The journal details the frightening events Maya experienced and the entities she felt around her after entering the forest. Maya writes about discovering a kind of spirit gate and feeling that this gate leads to a different world. In the last pages of the journal, Maya mentions a strange ritual and a temple. Maya, this temple feels like the source of all the darkness here. It's as if something is locked away here, and I know I shouldn't release it. But this pull, it keeps bringing me back. Lara becomes more determined to find this temple, believing it to be the key to finding Maya. When Lara and Kazuo finally find the temple Maya mentioned, they see that it has almost completely been reclaimed by nature over time. Inside the temple, they examine ancient Japanese symbols and depictions of supernatural beings. These symbols explain the source of the dark forces in the forest and the purpose of the rituals performed there. Kazuo, these symbols tell the story of the forest's curse. A ritual performed here cursed these lands forever. If we can break this ritual, we might be able to save Maya. Inside the temple, Lara finds several photographs taken by Maya. The photos show ancient symbols and strange shadows she discovered in the depths of the forest. However, these shadows do not resemble ordinary humans. Their eyes are empty, and their faces expressionless. Lara and Kazuo decide to perform a ritual based on the texts found within the temple to break the curse and save Maya. But as the ritual begins, the dark forces of the forest start to attack them. Shadows surround Lara and Kazuo. Whispers turn into screams. Kazuo, if we don't complete this ritual, we'll all be lost here. But no matter what, we must save Maya from this curse. At the end of the ritual, Maya's eyes return to normal, and she regains consciousness. However, the forest's power is still not ready to release them. Lara, Kazuo, and Maya make one last effort to escape the forest. The terrifying events they experienced in the temple make their exit even more difficult. When Lara thinks she has saved Maya, she realizes that although they have escaped the forest, the curse is still following them. Even though Maya has been rescued, Lara's fear continues to grow. Kazuo is relieved they managed to escape the forest, but Lara senses that the forest's curse is still watching them. Kazuo, the curse is not just in this forest. Anyone who touches these lands becomes part of the curse. Lara begins to have the same nightmare every night. The dark shadows of the forest watch her, whisper to her, and call her back. Lara feels as if she is constantly trapped in the forest, surrounded by shadows. The growing sense of madness in her mind causes her to lose touch with reality. Eventually, Lara can no longer resist the forest's call and returns to Japan alone, without Kazuo. She enters the depths of the forest once more. Upon reaching the cursed temple inside the forest, she relives the memories of the time she entered the forest to save Maya. But this time, Lara is completely taken over by the dark forces of the forest. The local people who find her report that Lara was found dead in the temple, her face expressionless and her eyes completely empty. Lara's story once again reveals the power and inevitability of the curse in Aokigahara Forest. The forest continues to be a dark place that claims not only the lost, but also those who search for them. Stories 3. The Secrets of the Silent Forest. In the summer of 1998, a group of 5 researchers decided to embark on a camping trip in a little-known, almost untouched forest in the northwestern United States. This group consisted of university student Lisa, history professor Michael, biologist Sarah, experienced camper Jack, and the group leader, archaeologist David. Under David's leadership, the group planned both a holiday and an expedition to uncover the traces of a lost tribe believed to have once inhabited this forest. During the journey, the group was in high spirits, singing along to the music playing in the car. However, as they approached the forest, the encompassing silence and dense trees began to stir a sense of unease within them. Lisa, looking out the window, this place is really mesmerizing, but isn't it a bit creepy? I've never seen a place this quiet before. Jack, smiling, yeah, it's truly amazing. It's perfect for being one with nature, but I didn't expect it to be this quiet. Usually, you'd hear birds or something. David, seriously, this forest hasn't seen human footsteps in a long time. Maybe that's why nature has completely taken over. But trust me, we have much to discover. Sarah, with concern, I just hope we don't get lost in a place this deep. We have our map and compass, but still, a place this isolated is a bit unsettling. Michael, trying to reassure, don't worry, David has experience with these things. And as long as we stick together, we should be fine. This is going to be an adventure. When they arrived at the forest entrance, the sun was beginning to set. The group's energy was still high, but as they ventured deeper, the silence seemed to envelop them more and more. They found a suitable spot to set up camp deep within the forest. Around them were only dense trees and moss-covered stones. They quickly set up their tents and lit a fire. That first night, they sat around the fire and started chatting. Lisa felt that the forest had become even more eerie after nightfall. Lisa, shivering slightly, this place. It's so dark. I can't see anything beyond the firelight. Jack, smiling, that's the beauty of nature. Being away from city lights means truly feeling the darkness. There's nothing to be afraid of, Lisa. David, seriously, this darkness brings us closer to the secrets of the past. I'm certain we will find traces of the ancient tribes here. Sarah, curiously, what do we know about this tribe? I haven't heard much about them. Michael, thoughtfully, this tribe has been lost to the dark pages of history. According to some records, they lived in harmony with nature here, but one day, they vanished without a trace. If we can find their traces, it would be a significant discovery. Throughout the night, Lisa's unease continued to grow. With the fire dwindling, every little sound around them amplified their discomfort. Whispers, footsteps, and unidentifiable noises surrounded them, but they couldn't see anything. The next morning, the group decided to delve further into the forest. However, Lisa, still unsettled by the sounds she had heard during the night, expressed her reluctance to go on. David reminded her that they had come to this forest to discover something. Lisa, insistently, something is wrong here, David. I couldn't sleep at all last night. I kept feeling like something was watching us. David, trying to persuade Lisa, it's just a feeling. If we let fear drive us back now, we'll discover nothing. We came here to make history. Jack, placing a hand on Lisa's shoulder. Don't worry, we're all together. If anything goes wrong, we'll turn back immediately. Reluctantly, Lisa agreed to continue with the rest of the group. As they descended deeper into the forest, the atmosphere grew even heavier. After a while, they stumbled upon an overgrown path deep within the forest. This path was littered with what might have been traces of the ancient tribe. However, the path seemed intentionally closed off. Branches and trees obstructed their passage as if deliberately. As the group continued their exploration, they discovered a large cave, surrounded by massive moss-covered rocks. As they approached the entrance, they felt a cold draft emanating from within the cave. Sarah, shivering this cave. There's something inside. Something cold. It's like death itself is hiding here. Michael, skeptically, don't be so dramatic, Sarah. This could be an ancient shelter of the tribe. Maybe this is where they lived. David, determinedly, we have to go inside. If there's something here, it could be a major discovery. As they entered the cave, they encountered walls covered in strange symbols. These symbols were far more complex and eerie than the ones they had found on the stones earlier. David speculated that the symbols could be remnants of an ancient language. However, Michael couldn't identify the language, despite his vast experience. As they explored the cave further, the symbols on the walls became more prominent. These symbols seemed to narrate a ritual. Michael began to study them and realized they told the story of a pact made by the ancient tribe to remain in the forest. However, this pact had trapped their souls within the cave. Michael, in shock, these symbols. They describe a pact. It looks like an ancient tribe made a deal with the forces of nature. But this pact bound them here, trapping their souls. Lisa, fearfully, does this mean there's a curse? Are the spirits of this tribe still here? David, deep in thought, this might have been their last resort. Perhaps this cave is their eternal prison. But why? We need to investigate this further. Later that night, Lisa suddenly disappears. The rest of the group begins searching for her, but they find no trace. As they wander through the depths of the cave, they hear Lisa's screams echoing off the cave walls, but the screams seem to vanish into the darkness. Sarah, panicking, Lisa. Where are you, Lisa? Please answer. Jack, seriously, we have to find her. This place is deceiving us. The sounds seem to be coming from everywhere. David, determined, we need to go deeper into the cave. We must find Lisa, but with each step they take, the cave becomes darker and colder. The path seems to close behind them, as if the cave itself is preventing their return. When they reach the deepest point of the cave, they discover a large chamber. Inside this chamber, they find a massive stone tomb. The tomb is engraved with symbols belonging to the ancient tribe. David speculates that this tomb might belong to the leader of the tribe. David, in awe, this tomb. It could belong to the tribe's leader. It looks like their soul was trapped here. Michael, curiously, and these symbols. Why is this tomb here? Sarah, trembling, I don't want to know. We need to get out of here. This place is cursed. Next to the tomb, they find a glowing crystal. This crystal gleams in harmony with all the symbols within the cave. As they hold the crystal, the symbols on the cave walls begin to move. These symbols appear to initiate some sort of ritual. At that moment, Lisa suddenly reappears in the chamber, but she is no longer herself. The entity that has possessed her is the spirit of the ancient tribe. Lisa, in a cold voice, you won't leave me here. Your souls all belong to me. David, in shock. Lisa, you're not yourself. Jack, in fear, we need to get out of here right now. The power of the crystal temporarily suppresses the entity, but they realize they must escape the cave. However, with every step, the entity now controlling Lisa tries to stop them. David places the crystal on the tomb, completing the ritual and sealing the curse within the cave. But David is the only one who manages to escape the forest. The others either get lost in the depths of the forest or, like Lisa, are possessed by the entity. David, taking a deep breath, is it over? Is this place safe now? Michael, in a voice lost to the echoes, this forest won't let us go, David. This place, it's with you now. When David finally emerges from the forest, he realizes that the crystal is still in his hand. He understands that the curse has not yet left him. Though he managed to escape the forest, the entity is still following him. The story ends with a final whisper echoing in David's mind. This is just the beginning. Stories 4. The Witch's Curse. Sarah, 25 years old, an architect. She has a traumatic childhood memory of getting lost during a camping trip in a similar forest, which still haunts her in nightmares. This time, she organized the trip to face her fears. Tom, 26 years old, a software engineer and Sarah's boyfriend. He isn't much of an outdoor person, but joined the trip for Sarah's sake. Deep down, he feels uneasy, but doesn't show it. Emma, 24 years old, a literature student with a passion for horror stories. She often goes camping with Jack, but this forest makes her feel strangely uncomfortable. Jack, 26 years old, an athlete and nature enthusiast. However, he senses something is wrong in this forest and becomes protective of Emma. David, 27 years old, experienced in mountaineering and camping, often taking on a leadership role. Yet, he begins to realize that this situation is slipping out of his control. Lisa, 24 years old, more quiet and reserved within the group. Initially hesitant about the trip, but joined to avoid being left out. She harbors a deep-seated fear of nature. They choose a remote and untouched forest in North America, far from civilization. The forest is both serene and ominous, exuding an eerie atmosphere as night falls. The once peaceful sounds of nature are replaced by an unsettling silence as the sun sets, giving the forest an ominous feel. The group arrives at their campsite, sets up their tents, and prepares for the night. Initially, everything is fun and peaceful. But as night approaches, strange things begin to happen in the forest. Sarah becomes increasingly uneasy as memories of her childhood nightmares resurface, though she tries to hide her discomfort from the group. Tom notices Sarah's unease but avoids confronting her. Sarah recalls a traumatic incident from her childhood when she got lost during a camping trip with her family in a similar forest and was missing for days. This event left deep scars, leading her to organize this trip as a way to confront her lingering fears. Tom sees this trip as a break from the monotony of city life, although he secretly dreads it. Emma hopes the trip will inspire her writing, despite feeling an inexplicable discomfort. Jack's protective instincts kick in as he senses danger. David's usual confidence begins to waver as he realizes something is off. Lisa's fear of nature resurfaces, making her regret coming along. Small conflicts begin to arise among the characters. For example, Sarah and Tom disagree about venturing deeper into the forest. Emma and Jack argue over the strange symbols they find. Lisa expresses a desire to leave, but David tries to calm her down. These dialogues deepen the characters' internal conflicts and their relationships with each other. The forest, initially tranquil, becomes increasingly oppressive. The further they venture, the more the forest seems to close in around them. The peaceful chirping of birds gives way to strange, unsettling noises. The wind rustles through the trees, creating an eerie atmosphere as the shadows grow longer and the light fades. Sarah and Tom discover an abandoned cabin deep in the forest. Inside, they find an ancient book filled with symbols in an unfamiliar language. Sarah senses an unsettling energy emanating from it. Meanwhile, Emma and Jack stumble upon a large stone inscribed with strange markings, which fills them with dread. Back at the campsite, Lisa and David are enveloped by a mysterious fog that moves as if alive, engulfing them. The forest begins to react to their presence. Sudden storms, falling branches, and strange noises from the depths of the woods become more frequent. The group realizes that the forest is trying to keep them within its bounds, making it increasingly difficult to escape. As Sarah and Tom delve deeper into the mysterious book, they start to feel its symbols pulsating and invading their minds. Emma and Jack, drawn to the stone, feel as if a hidden door has opened within the forest, releasing a dark force towards them. Lisa, lost in the fog, begins to experience hallucinations, hearing voices that call her name. The tension escalates in the group's interactions. Sarah warns Tom that the book has cursed them, but Tom dismisses her concerns, thinking she's becoming paranoid. Emma tries to share her fears with Jack, but he brushes it off, believing she's letting her imagination run wild. Lisa becomes increasingly desperate to leave, but David tries to reassure her that the forest is merely playing tricks on her. The group begins to encounter ghostly apparitions, possibly the spirits of those who are lost in the forest before them. These spirits warn them to leave, yet simultaneously seem to prevent their escape. The boundaries between reality and the supernatural blur as the forest reveals its true nature as a sentient, malevolent force. The group uncovers the story of the witch who once lived in the forest. Once a respected woman in a nearby village, she lost her mind in her pursuit of supernatural power, ultimately becoming one with the forest itself. The book and the stone are revealed to be linked to her dark magic, and by disturbing these artifacts, the group has unwittingly reawakened the curse. As they delve deeper, they find traces of other people who have fallen victim to the witch's curse. These unfortunate souls were also driven mad by their fears, turning on each other before disappearing into the forest. The group begins to fear they will suffer the same fate. The forest shows each member a vision of what lies ahead. Sarah sees Tom abandoning her. Emma envisions Jack failing to protect her. David foresees Lisa's death. These visions sow distrust and deepen the psychological torment each character faces. Sarah confides in Tom about her visions, but he dismisses them as irrational fears. Emma keeps her vision to herself, fearing Jack's reaction. Lisa repeatedly urges David that they must leave the forest immediately, but David remains unconvinced, thinking Lisa is just panicking. The forest escalates its assault on the group. Each member faces their deepest fears, magnified by the witch's influence. Sarah relives her childhood trauma. Tom fears losing Sarah. Emma becomes increasingly paranoid about Jack. Jack's resolve weakens under the forest's pressure. David struggles with the guilt of failing to protect Lisa. Lisa fears being abandoned and isolated. The witch's spirit manifests in the forest, attacking the group both physically and mentally. She isolates them, turning them against each other. The group, already fractured by distrust, now faces their greatest challenge as the witch's curse reaches its peak. The group's interactions become increasingly volatile. Sarah blames Tom for their predicament, while Tom accuses Sarah of causing the curse. Emma and Jack argue about whether they should stay together or split up. David and Lisa's relationship becomes strained as David contemplates abandoning Lisa to save himself. Every attempt to escape only pulls them deeper into the forest's clutches. The forest seems to close in on them, both physically and mentally, leaving them trapped in an ever-tightening circle of fear and despair. In the final confrontation, the group must overcome their fears and doubts to break the witch's hold on them. Sarah's courage, Tom's loyalty, Emma's love, and David's determination ultimately weaken the witch's power. The witch, faced with their collective strength, begins to lose control over the forest. Each character makes a final decision that defines their fate. Sarah risks her life to save Tom. Emma and Jack choose to face the forest's darkness together. David, realizing he cannot save Lisa, decides to focus on escaping the forest. Their choices, driven by their personal growth and the bonds they've formed, allow them to escape the witch's curse. The group emerges from the forest, forever changed by their ordeal. Sarah and Tom remain together, but the experience haunts them. Emma uses the experience in her writing, but is no longer fearless. David mourns Lisa's loss and vows never to return to nature. The witch's curse is broken, but the scars it left behind will never fully heal. Back in the safety of civilization, the group struggles to move on from their experiences. The forest, though left behind, continues to loom large in their minds, a constant reminder of the dark forces that still lurk in the world's untamed corners. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to my channel and like my video. Thank you for your support.